Today, we are going to look at array of strings. The last class we did string functions, and we've done introduction to strings. So what did we say is a string? A string is an array, a one-dimensional array of characters that ends with a null character. So if we are looking at array of strings, that would be what? A two-dimensional array of characters in which the first dimension will represent the number of arrays, right? And the second dimension will represent the maximum length of each string in the array. So if we look at this, let's take the month, January to December. So each month is a string literal. And then we have January to December. How are we going to write a program in C to print them out on the screen? That is what I mean by what? Array of strings. Okay, so if we say array of strings is what? A two-dimensional array. So we are going to do something like this. Let's write a program to print out January to December on the screen. And we'll use that to explain array of strings. So I say include stdio.h, and then we're not bringing in anything again. So I can int main, right? So inside this place, I'm going to declare my array. So I will say char. I will call it month. Then, since it is what? Two-dimensional, the first one will be 12, and then the second one, let's give it 20. So what do I mean by this? Then I will put the value. To explain this represents rows, right? And this represents columns. Now, this is like a table. So we have something like this, right? Then we have this, we have this, we have this, like that. So this, and this. Now, this is what? 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, this is January, right? January. So you have J. Then, let me use my... You have J, you have A, N, U, like that. We have February, right? Like that. So this is how it is. Now the first one, so you are going to use a nested for loop to be able to print this out. So the first outer loop will take care of this. Then the inner loop will take care of each of these columns to print it out. So let's write the program to achieve that. But if you take this two-dimensional array, it's going to be stored in the memory, which is a one-dimensional memory. So you are just going to have a straight line. You are going to have a straight line like this. So how are you going to store January, February, March inside this memory? So there's the formula. Of course, I've taught you two-dimensional arrays. So you are going to use the formula to work it out. But let's write our program first, then I will interpret. So here I will do January, right? Comma. Here I will say, let's take it from January, then we'll continue September, then I'm just to make to save our time. So I put this here, and then I close this. What I'm saying is, this is January to December. So I'm going to write everything out in my code blocks. So just for the sake of this class, for it not to be too long, I'm just abbreviating this. All right. So how do I print this out on the screen? I'm going to use my nested for loop. So I will say for the first part, I'll say int I assign 0, then I less than 12, I plus plus, then I will go in. So I'm going in. The next one should be what? My second for loop, because it's a nested for loop. But because percentage %s acts as a loop to the printf, so I'm just going to write the printf directly inside this place. So here I will say printf, and I will say percentage %s/n, right? Then month I. Then I will close my for loop, right? Then I will say return 0. Then I will close this. So this is my program. This is my program. So what will happen? I and J, that's what it should be. This one will have been I, then the second loop will have been J. So for I, when I is 0, you go in. This one will encounter the next for month I, which is what? Month I is 0. Month I will be what? January. When it hits that January, it will now start to iterate. Printf will begin to iterate because of this percentage %s. It will begin to iterate and print out January, which means J will continue to increase from 0 to whatever. This 20 bytes for the column is going to take all the values slash and the what and the null character. So I am having something like this. So this is Januar, January, right? January, then slash this. So each of them, then you still have up to what? 20 bytes. So you're having 0 to what? 19. 0 to 19 for all the month. So each of them will enter this. So when this one stops at 19, February will start 20. February will start from that place, and it will go like that. So 12 times 20, that is 12 times 20 will give us what? 240 bytes. That is memory size that we allocated in the memory. So when it comes in, the first for loop, I equals to 0, it will come in. Then month 0 will start from the base address, which is what? 100. Now, we are assuming for the sake of this class, base address is 100. So the formula for the compiler to know in the memory how to locate January or February or March or anything is, I'm going to write it here. So this is the formula. Base address plus I times column size plus J multiplied by what? What should be here? Size of char. Size of character. That is the formula it's going to use. So if I'm going to find January, because this is an array, so January will be what? Month 0, 0. If I'm to print out what is in this place, this is row, and this is what? Column. Now, if I'm to print out what is here, it means I'm going to use this base address, which is what? 100. Base address is 100. plus I. I is what? 0. Multiply by what? Column size. Column size is 20. Plus J. Now you've entered. So the first one, J will be what? 0. Multiply by size of char. Character is what? 1 byte. So this one will give me 0 times 20 is 0 plus 0 times 1. That is 0. So the base address is what? 100. It will print out J. This one will print out J. Now this place will change to 1. So that means I'm still in J. So, of course, I've taught you nested for loop. So when you enter into the second loop, you have to finish the iteration before you come out to the outer loop again. Then you enter, you finish the iteration, then you come out. So for this one, in reality, when you look at this box, so there are two. When you look at this, the first box that you will see, which is for this outer layer, will take you in. Then you count January, you populate it on the screen. Then you come out to the second one, you go in, you count February, then you populate it on the screen. So this is how you are going to print out arrays of string using a nested for loop. So this is the first for loop, this is the second for loop. Because of this is acting as a for loop. It will cause this printf to iterate. When it's finished, it will come out. So this is the formula in which the compiler will use to locate all of them on the screen. If you move to February, February will become, this place will become 1. Then this one will start 0. So using that formula, slot this in. It will tell you the address of February. And then you print it out. So February will be what? 120. We'll start from 120. Then it will iterate until it completes February. Then it will go to the next row, which is what? Row 2. Like that until to print out everything on the screen. So let's go to code blocks. Let me demonstrate this array of strings for you to see. Okay, so this is our code block, the program that I showed you on the screen. So I'm just going to execute it for you to see. Now I'm writing the full month, January to December. Now I'm having my nested for loop. This is my for loop. Then the printf inside is another for loop, which will take care of the columns. I've explained all this to you on the board. So let's execute this program for us to see the output from January to December. Okay, so that is it. So you have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, right? That is what we have. So the next class, I'm going to show you one use case scenario of these arrays of string. So till we see in the next class. Bye-bye.